right, good afternoon and welcome. It is 12 noon on the dot here in Las Vegas at the IICRC headquarters. Welcome to the IICRC Certified Firms April webinar. I'm Angelina Dixon, IICRC's marketing supervisor. Gavin is out today, but we have a fabulous presentation ahead of us. Members of CareerPlug are joining us today. CareerPlug helps business owners and managers with hiring and employee retention through easy-to-use software and strategies and many more. They were trusted by over 60,000 businesses and over 400 franchise brands. And here to tell you more about it and how it could possibly help you and your business, Rebecca Smith and Kayla McCown are joining us today. Ladies, take it away.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us. And we want you all to know as members just how much time your team has spent coming in just to make sure that you all have the tools and resources for being a part of IICRC to not just help you all create certified technicians and not give you all the tools and resources to partner with the communities you serve, but to add additional resources to your all's tool belt to help you all grow your businesses overall. And that's what our goal at CareerPlug is. We come in and we partner with organizations and associations, especially in the home and commercial services industry, to give you all a templated system out of the box to help you all streamline your hiring processes, hire correctly, onboard properly, and ultimately retain talent so that you can grow your business. And in this circumstance, we're not just able to help you attract talent, but really help you attract quality talent because IICRC is already helping you certify those technicians to have the highest quality employees possible. And anytime you have quality, that helps you with recruiting and retention overall. But we'll get started. You can drop questions you have in the chat. We will have time for questions at the end as well. We also have Rebecca Smith from my team here joining us. And so she also helps oversee the IICRC partnership. So she'll be running the chat and available for questions as well. But I'm going to get started and just really appreciate your all's time today joining us here. And so when we think about IICRC, what we want to think about is the right way to grow. When we think about CareerPlug, our goal is to help people create a culture in their business that allows them to hire talent. When we think about hiring, that's attracting, scheduling, and evaluating. And a lot of times in the hiring process, people get stuck at step 2 and they never make it to step 3 or 4 when it relates to hiring. And so at CareerPlug, we have partnered with IICRC to give you all a tool and a system that helps you move beyond just creating culture to generating hires, retaining talent, and ultimately growing your business. Now, how do we do that? We all know that before we can retain talent, we do have to attract talent. And when we talk to people about what are the barriers to attracting talent, especially in the trades, it's finding not just people, but qualified people that they want to work for them, that they trust. Anytime you're going to be going into people's homes, businesses, things like that, it becomes even more vital that you have the right people in the right seat, because that is what builds talent and culture, and it also retains your customer base at the same time. So when we talk about attracting talent, the foundation of success starts there in our hiring and growing our business. So when we think about attracting talent, most people are accustomed to writing a job description, but no one really enjoys doing that. And so when you think about writing a job description, you have to know, how do I target the applicant of today? The applicant of today is very different than the applicant even 5 years ago. And so when we think about who the applicant is that we're targeting today, we have to be able to communicate to them in the same format that they communicate to us. And what we know is that dental, vision, 401k, and health insurance did not even pop up in the top 5 benefits that applicants were looking for at the end of 2023. Applicants were looking for things like employee benefits, but thinking flexibility. They want to know the mission and vision of the company they work for. And those are things that may be a new concept, or maybe things that you've heard thrown around a lot, but you're not sure how to actually implement those in your business. So when you think about what those things look like, flexibility can be a scary term as a business owner. When we think flexibility, sometimes we think that means that the employee dictates when they come to work and when they leave. But we can offer flexibility and yet set the parameters around what that looks like coming in. So we could say offer flexibility, but that really just means Rebecca comes to work on the third Thursday of every month at 10 o'clock because she has a cardiologist appointment. Or John comes to work on the second Monday of every month at 8:30 because he's in a custody arrangement and drops his child off there. And so when we think about flexibility, we can offer flexibility and still have a standard of expectation of excellence in our offices, in our businesses, and on our teams and crews every day that we have. But when we know that's what applicants are looking for, we have to lead with employee benefits. So dental, vision, 401k, and health, those are still great things to advertise. But you also want to think, what are the benefits that set me apart from my competitors? And so when we think about those benefits there, I want you to take a moment and maybe jot some of these down for yourself. What do you think sets you apart as the competition? Is it your culture? Do you have paid lunches? It could be something as simple as a paid birthday off can really have to or can really incentivize employees to see that you are the employer of choice in your community. And so when we think about those benefits, just take a moment, write a couple of those down as we're talking through the presentation today that you want to use to separate yourself. When we talked about dental, vision, 401k, and health, didn't really even pop up in the top 5. The other piece is career advancement opportunities. Applicants are no longer just looking for a job, they're looking for a career. So, how do we as the employer set ourselves up as we are the employer of choice to not just get them in the door, but to grow their career over time as well? And so just putting that in your job description, I think sometimes we assume that applicants know that there's an opportunity to grow, but we can be more clear and list that out when we actually post a job. And you'll see in a CareerPlug account in a moment that we actually have all of that built into templated systems that you can use here. Culture enhancement. How do you actually show the culture of your location? When you read your job description, a job description in today's market is really just your marketing pitch to the applicant community as to why they want to work for you. But what do they see about your culture? If they go search you out on social media, do they see why other people want to work for you? Do you do things like celebrate the app or the employees that you have in your office today? Do you have positive reviews on some of your social sites? And when you think about that culture that you have, that also ties into employee referrals. When we have a strong culture, our existing employee base, they refer and want to bring other people to work with us. So when we're thinking about these pieces, how does all of this tie into us building the business that we want that grows in our communities and ties back to we get that talent in the door that we're then able to make sure as a certified technician, we trust them going into homes, we trust them going into businesses, and that builds our brand reputation at the same time. And part of what you all do with your partnership of IICRC is employee development. As a member of IICRC, it's clear that you are already committed to employee development in your workforce. And so then the other piece of that is, how do we couple all of this together? We have a high standard of excellence. We are offering benefits. We're creating the image that we're the employer of choice, but yet we still need to offer work-life balance. When we think about natural disasters and things like that, we can't always dictate and say, hey, this is for sure an 8 to 5 job, or it's guaranteed that you don't have to work this day, because we don't always know when those things happen. So we have to be creative in other ways that we can offer that work-life balance. And that ties back to what we started with flexibility. And so how do they know that you offer flexibility if you don't say that coming in? All of this coupled together is what creates work-life balance coming in. But when we think about these things, how do we win today's applicants? So we can post those, and I'm sure many people here, you have posted a job before. You've been frustrated by applicants coming in, but they're not the quality applicant you're looking for. Or you've posted a job, you've had applicants come in, and you haven't been able to get them converted to an interview scheduled. So when we think about how do I win applicants today, it starts with the culture piece that we just talked about. but it's so much more than the culture piece. We also have to make sure that we're going and we're getting our job in front of applicants where they are. 79% of job seekers use social media when searching for a job, and 73% of job seekers aged 18 to 34 found their last job through social media. And so through the partnership with CareerPlug in the system, you have these job templates already created for you with your most commonly hired positions. And I'll show you what that looks like. You're not able to just post your job and get it to go out to Indeed, ZipRecruiter, LinkedIn, Google Jobs. Your job goes to all of those places, but you also have the ability to share your job to social. So you can link your account to your Facebook, your Instagram, your X account, and really focus on getting your job in front of the applicants where they are today. We know they're on their phones, we know they're on social media. So, how can we partner together with employers to help them get their jobs in front of those candidates? We also, once we get our job in front of them, we have to make it easy for them to apply. When we think about making it easy to apply, we can provide a mobile experience, and sometimes it's still difficult to apply. If you have 15 pre-screen questions, if you have a super long job application, we may lose the attention of the applicant we have. So when I talked about the benefits, and if we go back a slide and think about where we started with this coming in, employee benefits is what we lead with in our job templates. That is what you start with your posting. The, the history of each of your companies is very important to who you are and why you're successful. But the applicant does not always see that part until they've understood what's in it for me. When applicants are searching for a job, they most often search for a job in the parameters that they can afford to work in. So they search jobs with filters by salary range, by benefits, by perks, by things that they're looking for to accommodate the lifestyle or the financial situation they need to support their family. So when we think about this, we have to make it easy to get their attention. So we lead with benefits. We're very clear about our requirements and responsibilities, but still presenting it in a way that shows us as the place they want to work. It highlights a positive culture coming in. And so when we're recruiting, we as hiring managers have to make sure that we're careful because we can't be too applicant centric, or else we can upset the current employees that we have in our locations today. So we have to show that we offer these things while still making sure that the existing employee base we have today doesn't feel like we're offering something more to new people than we are to them coming in. And so once we get the job in front of them on social media or in front of them on the job board, wherever it is that they are looking, we then make it super easy to apply. And with CareerPlug, we have direct integrations built in where they can quickly apply from all of those sources, including your own careers page and social media. But once these applicants come in, it's really important that we get them scheduled, especially the qualified applicants, for a phone screen as quickly as possible. And so 69% of applicants won't take or accept a job offer if the company takes too long to respond. And something that we hear a lot in our industry is talking about applicants ghost me. Applicants, they apply, I reach out, they never show up for the interview. But we as business owners often don't reflect back on how often we actually ghost applicants as well. Applicants apply, we don't think they're a fit, so they never hear from us. But when we think about applicants, applicants are also free customer marketing to us. So every applicant that owns a home, they could need restoration services at some point. They could need HVAC services at some point. Many of your applicants could need the services that you offer if they own a home. If the applicant themselves don't own a home, the likelihood is someone in their sphere of influence does own a home or a business that could also use your services when impacted by a water disaster or by home disaster situation coming in. So we really want to make sure that we provide the best applicant experience possible because it doesn't just improve our employer branding, it also increases our customer marketing in the markets we serve. So at CareerPlug, we've thought a lot about what are a lot of the things that owners struggle with. We know that as a small business owner, your day is consumed not just with hiring, but all things. It's marketing, it's customer experience, it's making sure that you have the tools and equipment you need, it's scheduling, it's making sure that you have jobs assigned to the correct technicians. There's a lot of pieces that go into running your business. And so we want to create tools that streamline everything and improve your efficiencies coming in. So, one of those features we launched is applicant ratings. When we think about hiring, and our goal at CareerPlug is to help people hire and retain and onboard talent coming in, it can be overwhelming sometimes when you have several applicants sitting in an inbox that you're not sure what to do with. So we launched applicant ratings. You simply rate the applicant for you as you go through and look at several applicants, and then you can go back and filter those applicants by those ratings. And where this can become really valuable is, let's say today you had 3 or 4 qualified technicians apply to your role, but you only had the capacity to hire one. As you grow, whether that be by customer volume or maybe you're in a position you need to replace someone, you don't have to start back at day one in hiring. You could come right back to your account and look at all the applicants that you rated as a great fit and start reaching out to them to see if they're still interested in working for you. And you have a pipeline built of quality talent coming in. In the same respect, you may have someone that applies to you that wasn't a great fit the first time, and the system will flag that for you and let you know, hey, this was a duplicate applicant that you rated as not a good fit. Saving you time, and when you save time, that's saving you from pouring money and resources into something that's not growing your business coming in. We also launched Smart Suggestions. We talked to a lot of people. Many business owners are familiar with going to one of the job boards, whether that's Indeed, ZipRecruiter, Google Jobs, and posting jobs coming in. But something that most people are not able to keep up with are the ever changing suggestions and posting best practices that come from the job boards. So when we think about those changes and the best practices that come from the job boards, that's a lot to keep up with. So we built it into the CareerPlug system. As you are posting a job, the system is going to guide you through that. If you put a title in that does not meet a posting best practice guideline, it's going to give you an alert. Hey, consider changing your title coming in. But it's also going to give you suggestions after you post the job. Once you post the job, it's also going to make suggestions to you like, hey, you don't have enough applicants, reduce the number of pre-screen questions you have, and continue to kind of prod you towards the things that are going to generate a mix of quality and quantity of candidates for you in your hiring process. So when you think about the job titles, when you think about the smart suggestions that are there, you don't have to always know what those are. You have a system and a tool and a resource provided to you by IICRC and your membership that allows you to be able to use this tool that will guide you through this process coming in. And as we prepare and we think about, okay, I've posted my job. I built a job that has benefits. It shows applicants why I'm the employer of choice. It shows applicants what they get if they come to work for me. It shows applicants what the day in the life of looks like in this role in your job posting. I've hit post. It's been sent to all the major job boards. I've also shared it to social media. So I'll have it in front of applicants in the way that they communicate, the way that they seek jobs today. And now I have applicants. I've rated my applicants and I'm ready to make a hire. When we talk about setting the stage for success, the only way we can grow is if we have a healthy hiring and retaining system built into our business. All of this together is what creates the culture of our business coming in. And so if you say today, hey, I'm going to go poll my existing employees, I'm going to ask them, what do they like about working here today? If your existing employees struggle to provide a lot of resources and content as to why they enjoy working there today, that may be a good time to reevaluate culture and say, hey, what can I do to want my existing employees to want to bring more talent in to work with me today? But when you look at this kind of guide here and we talk about growing our business, we have to attract talent. We have to schedule talent quickly. We have automated interview scheduling tools built into our system today. You can link your calendar. When an applicant applies and they meet the qualifications that you set, you can send them a text. They click a link, they schedule a time with you for the phone screen, And then the system is going to automatically remind them what that looks like each time. We evaluate, make sure they're the right fit, but then we have to onboard that talent. We have to have continued engagement with the talent. And that is ultimately what helps employees thrive. And when we have a location full of thriving employees, that's what helps our businesses grow and builds our employer brand image in the communities that we serve today. So some of these features that we're working on, and I'm going to show you what some of this looks like in an account so you see it live. The Pulse survey. This is a simple survey. It's 5 questions. It goes out as a text message to your employees, and the questions rotate. It's questions as simple as, do you feel like you have the tools and resources needed to do your job? Do you feel like you've been properly trained? That's a question that rotates to employees in their first 90 days coming in. All of these features are designed to give you that continued engagement with your employee base so that you know and that you're alerted if there are issues that arise with your employees. When we talk about recruiting and retention being that kind of cycle and they depend on each other, one of our best recruitment strategies is the retainment of talent. If our top talent loves working for us and they're bringing talent just like them in, we're able to grow our business organically without going out and spending mass amounts of marketing dollars generating applicants from job boards that are not our ideal candidate profile coming in. But sometimes we get so busy running our businesses that we're not available, and we sometimes miss when one of our dedicated employees isn't happy or they're not in a position that they feel like they're able to be successful. So this is just a simple burst pulse survey, goes out. It takes about 20 seconds to answer it. And then if the manager needs to take action, it notifies the manager that they should reach out to that employee based on their answer coming in there. And we at CareerPlug, we know that this is a lot. It's a lot in the way that you've had to change the way that you hire. So we have a full support team built out. So if you're an existing user of CareerPlug, you can schedule unlimited one-on-one consultations with our team. We have a support line that you can call directly for things like a password reset. Our support team are all American-based. They're all here and they all work regular hours from Pacific Coast all the way to East Coast to be able to support our client base today. But I want to show you all what some of this looks like in an account and then also make sure we have plenty of time for questions you have today. This is a live account that we have here. So when you log into your account every day, it's going to give you this quick snapshot of actions you need to take as well as things happening in your hiring process there. So you'll notice over here, it's going to show you your employer responsiveness badge. Many of you may have been on Indeed recently, and you may notice that a job says employer typically responds in 4 days, 6 days, 8 days, whatever it is. That is based off if you communicate with applicants as they come in. Indeed actually lowers your visibility over time if you don't respond with applicants when they come in. So we have launched the employer responsiveness badge to allow people to kind of keep an eye on that and to take the steps they need so that they get the highest organic visibility possible. And I've used that word a couple of times, and so I want to make sure I'm clear about what organic visibility is. Organic visibility is visibility that did not require you spending sponsorship dollars to generate applicants coming in. So when you post a job board, you have organic visibility and you have sponsored visibility. Organic visibility is just you made the post and you didn't pay to keep it at the top of the job boards. Sponsored visibility is you may have posted a job and said, okay, I'm going to attach $200 to this job to keep it at the very top of the job board. There are definitely times where sponsoring a job is important. Our goal at CareerPlug is to help you all increase and get the highest number of organic applicants possible and quality applicants possible for the lowest spend possible to grow your businesses here. So you have the dashboard, and we talked about getting your job in front of applicants with where they are today. One way we do that is through the careers page. So you have the careers page here. This is generated out of the box. It's a template for you, super easy to customize to your location if that's something you choose to do. As you go down, you can see here's some photos of what it looks like. But again, you can add photos for your location, customize here. You can update it with your benefits. your perks. And you may ask yourself, how would I use this? How would I use the careers page there? There's a lot of ways to share. You can share this careers page to social media. So applicants there see your jobs, they see who you are and why they want to work here. You could also take this and put it on QR codes, and you could have QR codes on your magnets on vans so that as you are driving around, you have like a mobile job board for applicants to be able to see. But before we can ever get our jobs to a careers page, we have to be able to get jobs posted. And a lot of times, taking that first step of posting a job can be really overwhelming. So, this is a live account here that I'm just demoing, and you can see they just posted a job here. But if I hit new job, use a template, here are all the templates that IICRC worked with to provide you all out of the box for some of your most commonly hired positions. So you simply grab a template and you hit create job, and then you're able to customize it to your location. It's very simple, very easy, not overwhelming, not complex, but it speaks to the applicant and what they're looking for. You put in your salary. We encourage you to do range because that shows applicants what they can expect to earn entering the role as well as they grow in the role. And then as soon as you hit post, your job automatically goes to all of those job boards as well as to the careers page that we just looked at here. So super easy to get the job posted coming in. But once you have the job posted, we talked about those smart suggestions. The system is going to continue guiding you through your job and your hiring process along the way. I can click these three little dots and hit share. And now you can see here's all the places I could share my job to go to. I could share it on social. I could email this job. I can do that along the way. Then when your applicants come in, so you've taken your job and you've kind of taken the 401k approach and you have your job dispersed out to all of these different sources. And now all of your applicants are coming back into one place. As the applicants come in, you get an applicant rating based on how they answer questions that are attached to those jobs. So it may say, are you IICRC certified technician? Yes or no. You could score yes higher, no lower. You may ask how many years of restoration experience do you have? Or if you're an HVAC company, a carpet cleaning company, you may ask questions specific to that role coming in. It rates, then you can click on the applicant if you want to take a deeper dive, or if you want to rate applicants simply on how they answered those pre-screen questions, you could look at them, come over and say, okay, this one's not a fit, and do that. So that's some quick ways that you can go through and kind of source your candidates and see who's going to be the best fit, who fits my culture, who fits my ideal candidate profile coming in. And then you're able to mark hired. Once we mark hired, going back here, talking about this, that's where it's really important that we provide a seamless onboarding experience. So when we talk about onboarding, CareerPlug has onboarding built in for premium users. That's your day one forms, your tax forms, W-2. All your state and federally required forms are built in as day one forms there. And so when we talk about growing your business and building this, it all starts with attracting. You use those job templates. You grab a job template that IICRC spent so much time on. You simply customize it to your location. You hit post and we take it from there. Your job goes out to all the major job boards, Indeed, LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, Google Jobs. All your applicants come back in and you're able to schedule interviews directly from the platform, text applicants directly from the platform, and evaluate which applicants are going to be the right fit for your business. Once you've identified who you're going to hire, you're then ready to start that retention process. You have onboarding that starts with those day one forms. So you onboard the employee, you send them the pulse surveys, you engage with them regularly, and engaged employees, they're going to thrive, help your businesses thrive, and that's what creates culture. And so IICRC came to us, saw the platform, and asked, how can we partner with you all to give our members a resource like this so that they're able to have a templated system out of the box, ready to go without them having to reinvent the wheel every time they want to hire? And so we were able to work with them and create this for them. You all are able to use CareerPlug for just $79 a month per location coming in. And so when you look at the cost of that, thinking, could I go hire an HR assistant for $79 a month? The likely answer to that is no. And so IICRC came to us, and that's what they've partnered to bring you all. If you come to us outside of IICRC, it's $159 per month if you come to us outside of the relationship of IICRC coming in there. So that is a huge benefit to you all being a part of that network. So they're helping you already by providing quality education, tools, and resource to grow and provide career development, as well as employee development through the certification process. That helps you generate those quality customers. And now you're able to attract that talent so that you can do that and continue growing your business there. And so I want to make sure too that you all have time. So I want to stop here for questions and answers that we have, and then anything else as well that we want to cover from the IICRC side.
Right. Well, it's that time, guys. It is question time. So if you have any questions for Kayla, where to drop them in the Q&A down below. I have a question, Kayla. Like,
Yeah.
how many, I guess, what's the common question you get about CareerPlug?
I would say common question for us is I'm a small business. I don't have very many employees. That's one that we get pretty often. Or I'm located in a rural community. Will this work for me? And so that is where the diversified approach becomes really important there. Regardless of where we're located, the likelihood is the majority of our applicants actually reside in a 20-mile radius of where they're reporting to work. The job boards do not always target our applicant, especially our ideal candidate profile. The job boards are a critical piece of recruiting, and I want people to hear that. The job boards are a critical piece. We're a premier partner of Indeed, of ZipRecruiter, of Google Jobs. Those job boards typically produce quantity, not quality when you look at that. Quality applicants from your careers page are 4 times more likely to be hired than an applicant from a job board. A referral is 8 times more likely to be hired than an applicant from a job board. But a lot of businesses do not have careers pages built out, and they don't have referral programs built out in their business today. And so their top talent, they struggle to source that to come in the door. And so that's really where we help you. Your local social media, your vehicles driving around with QR codes on it, your careers page, and then those templates are also designed to help you maximize job board visibility and placement coming in. So regardless of where you're at, these tools and resources are designed to reach the applicants in your community.
All right. Well, I actually have another question for you, I guess, while we're waiting for
Yeah.
a few more questions come in. Everyone is saying how informative the presentation has been so far. Um, what can you say to job hunters out there who might say, I live in a big city. The job market right here is very oversaturated, and it's a lot of competitiveness. What kind of advice can you give them?
To the job seeker?
Yes.
Yeah, I think job seeker, when you're looking, a lot of times as a job seeker, there comes a point, I think, especially like once you're kind of deflated, you want to cut corners in the application process of coming in. And so making sure that you're presenting your best self, and that starts with the way you answer those pre-screen questions. A lot of your recruiting talent agencies, things like that, they're coaching to those pre-screen questions because it's how you disqualify people you don't want to talk to. And so when people don't take the time to answer questions fully, they don't take the time to upload the things that are asked, that's kind of that first sign of this is not the person I want to work for me. So I think it's not letting complacency compromise how you apply to a position, but also asking and talking about how you can grow in those positions when you talk to their. I do a lot of interviewing at CareerPlug, and when I'm talking to people and they're saying, hey, what opportunities do you have for me to grow if I want to learn more skill sets after I come in? That really piques my interest that this is somebody that doesn't just want to come in and clock out and do the 9 to 5, and they're not willing to do anything else. They want to grow in the position. So I think it's using those search parameters. Don't apply to jobs that you're not willing to take. Pay transparencies become really important. This is really to applicants and to employers looking. Pay transparency is one of the number one topics of conversation in recruiting across America right now. Many of you all may have seen there's some commercials that Indeed has been running that basically says you no longer have to wonder what you're getting paid when you search for a job on Indeed. And that is because Indeed will estimate the salary for you when you don't include a salary in your job posting. Indeed estimates it. There are also certain states that now legally require the salary to be posted when they post a job. So if you're an employer, post the salary. If you're a job seeker, don't apply to jobs that you know you're not going to work for that range coming in. You're not just wasting your time, you're wasting the employer's time coming back. And so really knowing what am I looking for and what skills can I kind of portray in these pre-screen questions to do that.
Haley, you got one question here. Says, we currently use CareerPlug through ADP. I have seen when candidates apply, their information is not present, no contact info or resume attached. It's usually a blank page. Would you happen to know how that happens? And some candidates just upload any random document other than the resume.
Yeah, and so that's for a lot of positions, we encourage, especially entry-level positions, we encourage not requiring a resume. And that is for a couple of reasons. Number one, we saw 77% of applicants apply from a mobile device today. And so a lot of applicants do not have a resume readily available on their mobile device. So they will upload anything to bypass that requirement of applying. Instead, and where we're talking about, we don't know like if they're a qualified candidate, really using those pre-screen questions to lean into that coming in. And so let me pull this up and I'll kind of show you. Maybe. Let's see.
Gotta love technology.
You do. I just got a new computer yesterday, so I get to log in and out of a lot of things today that I usually don't have to. So when you talk about pre-screen questions, when you're thinking about a pre-screen question, we see people sometimes use what we would call filler questions when they're posting a job. And to me, a filler question is something that does not actually give you any insight into the quality of candidate that is applying. You're asking very generic yes/no questions. Are you 18 or older? That may very well be important for insurance purposes, but what other questions can you couple with that to really give you that insight into if they're a quality candidate? So if I were going to post for this carpet cleaner, I'll skip those steps just to show you the pre-screen questions. Coming in, do you have previous carpet cleaning experience? And you can see here, you can score these. You may want to change these. You may want to come in and say, hey, I'm actually going to make this multiple choice and change it to how many years of carpet cleaning experience do you have? Maybe you're willing to train that person. And so you don't disqualify them if they're 0 to 1 years, but you just rate them lower because you know you're going to have to spend money, energy, and resources training that person. And so we can ask questions that help us get around people not uploading the resume there by using the pre-screen questions coming in. When you're talking about using through ADP, I don't know if this person's using the ADP HR Pro account. They use a version of CareerPlug in their ADP HR Pro account that's a little bit different than what IICRC gets. IICRC has the guaranteed templates that are branded to IICRC and that integration there. So we do have an ADP support line. So I would encourage you to reach out directly to our ADP support line on troubleshooting for that account, because that is an integration with ADP and not through us directly, but they do use our software to power that coming in. But for the resume piece, even in that, I would encourage you to think about your pre-screen questions. Not requiring a resume is scary. We get that all the time. How will I know how many places they've worked? How will I know? I don't want somebody that's a job hopper. I don't want somebody that's just applying to every job out there. That's where we can ask questions as the pre-screen, really leading into their skill set coming in. You do have to be careful. I'm not an employment attorney, so I want to say that. but you do have to be careful with what questions you ask as pre-screen questions. Something that has been a big change that I will tell you and is really important in your all's industry, especially, you cannot mention background check anymore in your job description. The job boards view mentioning background check in your job description as discriminatory hiring coming in. We are not saying that we agree with that at CareerPlug. We have direct background integrations with Verified First and Universal, and we understand how important it is to have a background check, especially to be insured and bonded when you're going into people's homes, properties, and the operating coming in. So we very much believe in using a background check. But when we talk about that organic versus sponsored visibility, if you mention background check in your job description, it requires sponsorship on your job to receive the maximum visibility coming in. So things that we would encourage is, and again, you have to be careful with this because certain states will not even allow you to mention background check until after an employment offer has been made. Like New Jersey is that way. You can't mention that until an employment offer has been made. If you are in a state where you can, you could customize your thank you to apply email and say, like, thank you for applying. This position does require a background check to move forward. That would then let that candidate know if they want to schedule that interview with you when you automate the interview scheduling tool or when you reach out for the initial phone screen coming in. But you do have to be really careful with that background check question. And so, kind of a couple of the things that can be controversial, and we understand it because it's frustrating as a business owner, but all of us to a degree are at the mercy of what the job board dictates as the best practices of today for visibility on their sites coming in. You want to include the salary. Including the salary, it's beneficial for more than just visibility. Most applicants search for a job in the salary range they can afford to work in. So if an applicant is putting search parameters based on their salary, you may be the employer of choice by far if they actually saw your job, but they may never see your job if you don't have the salary listed and they're only searching for a job in the salary range that they can afford to work in. So include your salary because it showcases. We would also encourage you to post it as arranged and not a fixed salary. Again, because that shows applicants what they can expect entering the role, but also as they grow in the role as well coming in. So those are a couple things when posting a job. You also, one that we see a lot when posting a job that can hinder visibility is your job title. A lot of people want to get creative with their job title and put things like $5,000 sign-on bonus, start today, hiring ASAP. All of those things are considered clickbait by the job boards. And when you use those titles, again, it requires sponsorship to get visibility. So when you think, well, what do I post then? Think of it as the business card approach. If you wouldn't put it on the business card as their job title, you don't post it in the title. You probably wouldn't put Rebecca Smith, part-time, $5,000 sign-on bonus on your business card when you hand it out. So really think, what is the title there? And then there are ways you can be, I don't want to say creative, but there are ways that you can maximize the job title to your benefit. If I'm hiring a mitigation technician and I'm willing to train that person, I am not going to post that job as a mitigation technician. Somebody that has never been in the industry likely has no clue what a mitigation technician is. You could potentially post that job as a handyman, describe all of the core competencies of the role, and then train them. You can call somebody internally, whatever you want to call them there. But if I were looking for someone that's experienced, you would want to use that title when you're looking for that. So really think about when you're posting in your industry, if I'm willing to train this person, are they going to the job board and searching this job title? Are people from outside of this industry familiar with this job title? If the answer is no, I would think of a different job title that speaks to kind of the skill set you're looking for and post that way.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. Kayla, thank you so much. This was very informative information. If someone wanted to reach out to you, if they have more questions later on, how can they get in touch with you?
Pull that right back up for you. So in our team, that's something that we really pride ourselves on at CareerPlug. We understand that hiring is overwhelming. We understand that the changes that happen at the job board every day, I mean, it's hard for us at times. We have a whole team committed to that, and we get trained on it all the time so that we know. So we know how much more kind of overwhelming that can be to somebody that's not their day all day, every day. We're aware that hiring is a glimpse in your day at times of many other things that you're doing. So we have a whole team of support dedicated that you can reach out to. You can have unlimited users from your team reach out. They can schedule one-on-one consultations with our team directly there. If you have an account in CareerPlug currently today and you look in the bottom right corner, there's a little question mark. You can click that question mark and schedule a call directly with our team at any time. If you're new and you're like, I don't really know, I want to see what this looks like for my business, I would encourage you to schedule this QR code here on the screen. That allows you to schedule a call directly with my team, and they can walk you through showing you, hey, what does this look like for me? How would I set this up for my business? And really answer those probably more detailed questions you have about your nuances. We know that each business is unique. We know that your hiring needs are unique. And so that's why everything is customizable in the accounts. You can customize your hiring process, your questions, your messaging. Anything in the account is able to be customized. So you have this out of the box template ready to go if that's how you like, or you can customize everything there. CareerPlug can be as simple or as complex as an organization is for posting. So schedule there. If you have general questions and you're a user of CareerPlug and you're like, I don't really need a consultation, I just need a quick question answered, you can email us at support@CareerPlug at any time. And then we also have phone support as well. And so I can make sure that we have all that too when I provide this deck after to be able to be sent out to you all as well.
Okay. Well, thank you so much again, ladies. We really appreciate you, bringing us all this wonderful stuff here, and a lot to think about. And hopefully, people will get in touch with you later on. Our next webinar is May 15th. It's every third Thursday of the month, so we will see you then. And once again, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
Awesome. Thank you all so much.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks.